positives out of that one. Fabian, from the couch down here in Melbourne, that looked like a lot of fun. It was highly entertaining. Was it fun in the driver's seat?
Yeah, I said after the race, I said regardless of the result, it was a fun race. You know, we had some good battles, both Jack and I, myself and Shane, even me and Chazzy, we had a good battle there as well. So, to come through with the wins, obviously the icing on the cake, and the fact that it's my 200th round start, that's even cooler. So, looking forward to tomorrow.
Jack, unfortunately didn't come your way today, the end result, but it must be really positive for you to be in there with a fight, a genuine fight today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think the guys tuned it up really well. We sort of knew from this morning just that on the fight felt really good. So pretty happy with that. I don't think anyone really knew what was going to happen over a stint. It was up high, but that's why I spiced it up so much. It was it's pretty cool.
And Bryce, from your point of view, the team picked up a pole as well as the podium. But your view of the incident between Scotty and Lee Holdsworth must have been pretty exciting. Were you sort of secretly hoping there might be a penalty coming your way?
Right, I didn't really know. I mean, I sort of thought from my view, it kind of, unfortunately for Scotty, looked pretty blatant. So I wasn't really sure what was going to happen there. But to be honest, like seeing Shane, Fabian, and Jack, and Holdsworth was in there. From where I was, it was pretty good view, and they were racing pretty hard.
Hey Bryce, at what point did you know that you had scored the podium? Was it on the last lap or after you crossed the finish line?
After I crossed the finish line, my team said that Scott had a penalty and that we were promoted to third. But to be honest with you, I was still pretty happy with fourth. But third's obviously the icing on the cake.
All right, let's get some questions from the press. I've got a few coming in here. Simon Chapman from Speed Cafe is going to start us off. Fabian, someone was always going to ask you this one. After the 1+1 comment made in Townsville, how satisfying is it to come out one race later and win here today and beat that other team?
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, results speak for themselves. I never get too involved in all the chat, but just leave the talking for the track.
Is it a case of he who laughs last the loudest today?
Obviously, a couple of competitors, run into each other, so that made life a little bit easier. So, look, you take them as you can get them, and chalking up a win here at a track that I'm not normally that strong at, is pretty satisfying. So it's the days that turned a corner with the car and improved a little bit here. We had a successful test day, so looking forward to doing more of it tomorrow.
It's pretty commendable how well your two teams get along at times, given how closely you're based to each other. Has any of that tension started to rise at all? Can you feel it in the air between the two camps?
Not really. I think the media ham it up a fair bit, and I guess you're only doing your job. But for me, I don't really notice that. Every time they walk past the garage or whatever, it's always g'day and good morning or things like that. So I don't think anyone's too stressed about it apart from the media.
All right, let's go to Jack again from Simon here. How were your tyres throughout the race? It seemed as though you were able to push throughout much of the race despite pitting earlier than most drivers.
It wasn't too bad. We're just I think from early on, Brad was just sort of telling us to manage those rear tyres. Obviously, realised there was issues with other cars, but we got through it okay. Survived to the end. I think it's just going to be racing again tomorrow. So interesting what happens.
The two battles that you had with Shane, what did you learn, I guess is the question out of those ones? A pretty good learning experience.
Yeah, biggest one, just don't go to the outside of, and do it twice in a row. So I think I would have learned for the first time, but obviously a slow learner.
Brad gave you a fairly sizable piece of advice as well over the radio at the time.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I actually haven't heard him blow up before, so it was pretty good. It was sort of a bit taken back by it, but no, it's all good. He's I think it was rightly deserved. So
you're still so new to the series, though. In comparison to a guy like Fabian, who's got 200 round starts. Are these the learning experiences?
He's up.
Pretty old experience. Are these the little lessons that you learn along the way, being young?
Yeah, I suppose so. Still learning a lot every time we go out and track. So, for me, I think we're good. We've got a car to race with this year, so I feel like it's, just trying to understand that. And I suppose, these boys race pretty hard, and it was pretty cool day. So, I think everyone enjoyed it. So, it's the main thing.
It was very entertaining. Bryce, you've had an up and down first season, but how special is it to tick the box of getting your first podium this early on?
Yeah, look, honestly, I didn't think we'd be getting any trophies this year, so super stoked. I mean, still trying to sort of sink in, I suppose. But, we've had some pretty strong quali speed, and then we've just been struggling a little bit to convert in the race. So, yeah, just really excited that we've been able to make some changes from Townsville, and it's all looking pretty promising.
Hey, Bryce, we've had Chaz on a few of these, and we love getting his opinion on how you're tracking, and he seems to see himself as a bit of a mentor to you. How's the relationship with Chaz going, and how much of a role has he played in this good result today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Chaz is really good. He's always trying to, I suppose, help me with just my confidence. Even he's always just trying to tell me to back myself pretty much, and trying to help me out a lot. So I'm very, very thankful for him, I suppose, wanting to help me, and he also wants the best for the team too. But there's been many a time where he's sort of just sat down and gone through my video and stuff with me, just trying to help me out a bit. And so yeah, look, he's been a really good help.
You seem to be doing all this in typical Bryce style, which I love. You're still very much you. Your post-race interview was highly entertaining. You don't mind telling it like it is. Is this just part of being from the Northern Territory?
It's just the truth. It's as simple as that.
Pretty good result for a kid from Darwin. We haven't had too many drivers from your neck of the woods reach this level of the sport, let alone get a podium.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously, it's especially in the early days, going through go-karts, it was certainly a lot harder, racing from Darwin. But it obviously doesn't really matter where you're from. You can make it happen if you want to. So I don't really think doesn't obviously hold me back, and obviously just super happy to do it for the territory.
Hey, let's talk tyres for a second. We'll start with Fabian here. They can be a bit of a Rubik's Cube at times, trying to figure out how these things work. Today was a little unusual. What are your thoughts on running the softs here to start with at the bend?
I think it's good. I definitely prefer to be running on the soft tyre. I know we've had a few issues with them today, but I think this is the first time it's really reared its head that it's going to be a little bit of a problem. But I guess we've got tonight for all the teams to have a good look at it, have a think about it, and come back tomorrow. But obviously the nature of this track, fast, long loaded corners, you're asking a lot of the rear tyre and things like that. So I still think we're doing the right thing. But yeah, we just need to do a better job of managing it and make them last.
Jack, did you guys see many signs of this level of tyre wear or blistering in practice or qualifying, or was this a real surprise?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of a surprise. I don't think with the rain and stuff like that, everyone was pretty focused on just trying to get, I suppose, a good quali car and all that stuff happening. So no one really did a long run. We did it anyway. So yeah, a little bit of a surprise, I suppose. But yeah, I think all our guys managed it pretty well. So it's created some really cool racing. So what we need is what we want. So yeah, hopefully it's a lot more of it tomorrow.
And Bryce, from your point of view, I get you. Tyre-wise, well, first of all, do you like running on the soft tyre here at the bend, or is it a bit too much of a risk?
I don't think so. I mean, we need to have high deg. We need to have people having problems to make good TV. So typically we've had a lot of problems, I suppose, with tyres, and here this weekend we've turned things around a bit, and there's other people out there hurting a lot more than us. So I think it's definitely a car setup thing, that's hurting it. But like Fabian said, I think we're heading in the right direction. If it were a hard tyre, I suppose if it were a hard tyre race, you wouldn't have the racing that we had today.
Follow the leader.
Yeah. Well, we've seen that before at the bend, haven't we? The roll of the dice really did open things up today, folks.
100%. Yeah. This track in the past, we come here last year and it was a track that's got no deg. There's no passing. I think even with the issues that some people had with tyres today, there was still plenty of passing, people coming through the field, making moves. And I think that's the entertainment part of our business is we want to create great racing. And if it means that something like this is happening, yeah, it's not ideal, but, give us time, give us the opportunity to learn and to make it better. And I think you'll find that the racing will remain very good still.
Hey, Fabs, Will Davison put out a tweet after the race saying this is proof that we need really soft tyres in this sport. Do you back that up as well?
100%. Softer the better. Yeah. We had a real good soft tyre back in 2009. Will remember it too. and it was good for a lap, and then you're managing it from then on in. So yeah, I'm all about it. You know, soft tyres. Let us race hard, and you know, look after the tyres. I think that's the big thing. You know, you see Formula One, they do it with different compounds, and you know, their racing's pretty good. So I think definitely we can learn from that.
All right, let's get a couple of fan questions to wrap things up tonight. This one's from YouTube, Alex Barn. Fabs, how do you feel building this momentum with Bathurst on the horizon?
Yeah, it's always good for one's confidence, you know, getting a race win. So, yeah, it's, you know, Bathurst has always been a good track to me. We've always been fast there. It's nice to roll into, you know, to that event with some success. And obviously we've got this weekend to go and then another one in a week's time. So it's, I wouldn't say it's a similar style circuit. You know, Bathurst is very different. It's a very different beast. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting there and racing in front of hopefully a reasonable crowd with the 4,000 people per day. But, you know, it's good to see some fans here at the Bend as well.
Absolutely. Actually, just before I move on to another fan question, Bryce, this is typically not the sort of track that suits your team. Usually they're the 90-degree corner style places, the street circuits. Pretty promising to find this level of speed with the big long radius corners for you guys.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously, you know, for the team previously, street circuits has been, you know, primarily their strength. But in saying that, you know, over this year, we've, you know, the team's been working really hard on trying to develop our cars still, which has been a pretty tough ask, you know, while there's been no testing. But, you know, the team certainly haven't been sitting on their hands. And, you know, we've had new parts at many new events this year, just trying to pave the way forward. So I think there's definitely some good progression, definitely.
To Bryce and Jack, you both had success in Super 2 and now you're on the podium in the big dance. How much of your learnings from winning in Super 2 helped you prepare for this championship? Let's start with Jack on that one. That's a good question.
Yeah, definitely. One of those things, you got to learn how to drive these cars, and it's a great way to do it in Super 2. So, yeah, it provides a lot of opportunity to get up to speed, but I think it's a massive step that I sort of found out this year, especially coming in this year, how big a jump it is again. And it's crazy what some of these boys up front have been doing for a long time and how they go about it. So you learn heaps pretty quickly, but yeah, it's definitely a great stepping stone.
Yeah, Bryce, you served a particularly long apprenticeship in Super 2 because you started so young. So there would have been a very long learning process, I imagine. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, obviously I went through, you know, Car of the Future coming into the series when I was in an older car and been through a lot of different, I suppose I went through a changing time in Super 2, but Super 2 definitely serves its purpose. You know, I mean, this championship is so competitive the whole way through the field that you don't really have the chance to try and learn to drive the car. You know, everyone is pretty on top of their game in this championship. So Super 2 is really good for learning the fundamentals, I suppose. And, you know, I suppose when you get up into supercars, you don't necessarily have to learn how to drive the car. You've already got your speed, but then you sort of have to learn how to race a bit because in Super 2, you got you got a few quick dudes at the front, but, you know, here in supercars, in the main dance, as you might say, we've, you know, the field is very competitive all the way up and down the lane.
All right, I'm going to finish on a bang here. This is from Brad Davey from Facebook. For all three drivers, I almost feel like this is a tough Facebook question. Do you consider yourselves to be the number 2 drivers in your teams? Because you all finished on the podium, and that's not a very number 2 thing to do. That's an interesting way of putting it. Do you guys feel like you're the number 2s at your teams at all, or do you feel like, you know, you're a part of that team and that's all that matters? Bryce, you want to kick us off on that one, being the junior burger in your team?
Yeah, the number 1 driver. No, obviously, you know, I know my place in the team, and you know, Chazzy, we've got different goals. You know, Chaz is trying to get a championship result, whereas for me, it's all about race results, qualifying results, and you know, developing the car. So, you know, I suppose I have a little bit more of an excuse as a rookie to be a little bit up and down the field while we're trying to learn our car a little bit. But, you know, obviously, you know, our team, I suppose a really cool thing about our team is, you know, they certainly don't favourite Chaz's car, and obviously hence why I'm able to be on the podium today. So the team do a good job at maximising where they can with both cars.
That's a pretty good quote. 4 cars at Tickford is a pretty different scenario as well, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, we've got 3 teammates, so no, it's all good. All 4 cars are exactly the same. So yeah, like the other guys, it's everyone gets the same equipment, same opportunity to do the job. So, yeah, no, it's pretty cool, and I'm just pretty lucky to have this opportunity. So can't complain. Good.
And Fabs, this topic seems to be the in topic at the moment. Your thoughts on it?
Oh, we have a saying in our team: when the team wins, we win. So regardless of which car it is, you know, we're all in it together. We're all part of this team. So yeah, doesn't matter which car wins. Is you know, we're happy for each other.
Brad Davey, watching on Facebook, that was a good question, dude. Well done. Thanks, guys. Well answered, well handled, well driven. That was highly entertaining. Hope for a bit more of that tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.